There is an Oscar-winning movie called Chariots of Fire about a man named Eric Liddell who was an incredible runner. And even if you've never heard of the runner or the movie, you've probably heard the music from it before. Do you recognize this? Here's a little information about Eric Liddell. He was a Scottish athlete. He was born in China to Scottish missionary parents. He attended a boarding school near London and later attended the University of Edinburgh in Scotland. I mean, he was a deeply religious man, and he lived out his Christian convictions even when they cost him dearly. At the 1924 Summer Olympics in Paris, Liddell refused to run in the heats for his favoured 100-metre race because they were held on a Sunday, which was to him the day of rest, set apart by God. Instead, he competed in the 400 metres held on a weekday, a race that he ended up in fact winning. He returned to China in 1925 to serve as a missionary teacher, and he stayed in China until his death in a Japanese civilian internment camp in 1945, which was part of the Great War. The movie shows a lot of his life and the struggles that he went up against to compete the way that he did. There is a scene in the movie which captures so beautifully what the whole movie is about. He's talking to his sister Jenny, who is trying to convince him to leave his running and to return to China immediately so that they can help their parents with the missionary work that they are doing there. She sees him as insulting God through the choices that he is making, while he shares that he sees it differently. It's not that God's not a priority, but he tells her that he's decided that he is going back to China, that the missionary service has accepted him. And she has this visible wave of relief wash over her. And then he continues, "But I have a lot of running to do first," he says to her. Jenny, you have got to understand. I believe that God has made me for a purpose, for China, but also he has made me fast. And when I run, I feel his pleasure. To give it up would be to hold him in contempt, and so to disgrace and dishonor him. You are right, it's not just for fun. To win is to honor him. Isn't that a beautiful description of what he feels when he runs? I believe that God made me for a purpose. He made me fast, and when I run, I feel his pleasure. When I shared about my experience of pregnancy and partnering with God to create, it's an obvious way that we use our bodies to create. But for many of us, sports are another alternative. Learning how to use our limbs, developing our skills and gameplay. For many, those are creative expressions. When we live and do everything that we do for the glory of God, then we too can feel God's pleasure over us. As we prepare for the cross-country race today and sports day tomorrow, here's a short clip from later on in the movie.
The final of 400 meters. Taylor, États-Unis. Numéro 278.
Good luck. Don't expect I'll see you till after the race. What's the deal with this guy Liddell, Coach? He a problem?
No problem. He's a flyer. He's had 2 races today already. He'll die. Just swing along, you guys, and wait. After 300 meters, rigor mortis sets in. You'll pull him in on a rope.
Johnson, Canada.
Good luck, Taylor. Watch out for Liddell.
Coach says no problem.
He's got something to prove, something personal. Something guys like Coach will never understand in a million years.
Jenny.
Says in the old book, he that honors me, I will honor. Good luck, Jackson Shores. So where does the power come from to see the race to its end? From within. Jenny, I believe God made me for a purpose. But he also made me fast. And when I run, I feel his pleasure.
He gives strength to the weary and increases the power of the weak. Even the youths grow tired and weary, and young men stumble and fall. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on the winds like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not grow tired. This is the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God.